which just makes me excited. I feel like all trans people right now too are like on the are like always ebbing and flowing in a collective consciousness. Like I feel that so strongly with other trans people is like we all are kind of bouncing around in the mega cavern of thoughts. We are all bouncing and sending each other these same like unbelievable existential like trans thoughts all the time, and like we're all. I just when I talk to another trans person, I really see it because I'm like, oh my god, it's not just me.
Yeah, it's about this like collective consciousness and like interconnectedness, and we really are all like part of the same whole, you know?
Truly.
Like these like truths that we are coming to within ourselves and like about our understanding of the world, like those are truths that we are coming to together as a community.
It's just like you said, it's our impact on each other, and you know, one trans person sees another out trans person, and it creates this global triangulation of trans worlds.
Yes.
And we seek each other out. You know, really, when push comes to shove, honestly, we show up for each other before anyone else will.
Yeah.
And we invest in each other. And the more we do it, the more we can encourage other trans people and even cis people down the line to do it as well. You know, I think cis people all the time, when they want to be allies and accomplices to trans people, they often like get tripped up because they want to do stuff for us, and it's like clear a pathway. How about that? Like let us do a thing.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be the arbiter or the modulator or, you know, the guardian of trans people. Like we got us.
You just make space for us.
Exactly. Like get out of the freaking way already. And like,
have you heard the term T for T?
Hell yeah, I'm T for T. I'm like T for T everything.
Yes, yeah. I like what you were saying about like, you know, trans people will like support each other.
Yeah.
So much. Like I love the term T for T in the context of the trans community. Mm-hmm. And like we have such strong love and support for each other. Mm-hmm. And we lift each other up mm-hmm. and like are there for each other.
Yeah.
In really like beautiful, powerful ways.
Our relationships to each other are so important and deserve so much like space and air and nurturing. And there's also like a part of me that's like a little bit of like a queer like separatist, where I'm like I will reserve big parts of myself and my energy for other trans people, you know, because of as most people, I have limited capacity, and I want to prioritize other trans people in that.
Yeah.
And that's another thing I love about T for T. I love T for T in the concept of romance and sexuality, and I love T for T in the context of friendship and relationships, teachers and roller skate buddies and swimming partners and everything. I will only follow other people on TikTok that are trans.
Yes. Yeah, get that trans community.
It's like my thing. I'm like, are you trans? I follow you. Yeah.
It's so important.
Yeah. And it's something I didn't like have access to for the longest time, because I think I didn't realize how important that it was. And I was still sort of like, I want to be accepted by cis people because somehow that will validate that I've like done a good job as a trans.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
look at me and be like, oh, that's the one we'll accept. Yeah, you're cool.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I get it. And I'm sort of like, fuck what you guys think. You'd be lucky if I grace your presence.
Yeah, it's about yeah, so much of this is about like assimilation and like being successful if you can assimilate into like cishet society.
Exactly.
Like there is so much about messages I've got from cis people about how like in order for me to be like a good and decent human being and like a good and decent trans person, I need to assimilate into cis society.
Yeah.
But I don't actually. I'm like finding my own community and like finding this beautiful trans community is so powerful. And our community and our culture is no less valid or real or important than cishet culture, and it is completely fine for us to like, it is good, it is beautiful for us to gravitate to each other and like form a community of like love and support for each other when we have not gotten that from the rest of society. Like, why would I want to assimilate into this society that has rejected me?
Yep.
Like, I am living my truth, and if my truth doesn't fit into that society, that's fine.
Exactly.
Like, well, it's not fine, but but like, it's not on me to like make myself fit into that society. It's on like cishet people to broaden their minds to allow like the real honest truth of trans experiences into the rest of the world.
Yeah. There's so much. I'm down for anything that sort of relinquishes the clench of cis machinations on anything to do with trans people or trans cultures or worlds. And cis people have a really hard time with that. They want to have they really want to have their hooks in everything.
Yeah.
And I, for one, am not cool with that. I don't stand for that. It's so if you have a cis friend, that's fine, I guess. Plenty of cis friends. My favorite thing is like when a cis person doesn't think that they're asking you to basically assimilate into their like machination of what the world is, but they're still doing it by asking you to shrink any part of yourself, or they don't understand how much transness informs who you are in every aspect. Something only another trans person would understand. Cis people will be like, why are you so obsessed with transness? And I'm like, if you were trans, you would know.
Yeah. It's like, if your entire life you have been told that you are not real and that your experience does not exist, then like learning to love yourself anyway and to like embrace who you are anyway. Like, of course it is going to be such a powerful part of your life. Of course it is going to influence every other like aspect of who you are.
Right. I'm going to talk about it nonstop. It's going to be all about nonstop. Yeah, I agree.